Hey everyone, True Sam here. I guess the video I am making today is about how I was right, and if you ever bought Battlefield 2042, I feel sorry for you. I made an earlier video about how you just shouldn't trust EA nowadays. You just shouldn't trust them at all, ever, ever. And they proved that to such a spectacular degree that Battlefield 2042 is being compared to the launches of Battlefield 4. I bought that on the original Xbox One when it first came out, and it was the worst experience I've ever had in any game. It was returned immediately. Let's just get into some of the hilarity, and we'll start off with, as you can see, 77 Metascore is the reviewers. Now, I said this before, don't take actual quote fingers reviewers seriously because they're paid. Most of them are shills because they need to keep up positive appearances within the eyes of the companies. If you really want an accurate representation, look at the 2.5. This is the people. This is what they're telling you. They don't like this and they are not having a good time. We are at a kind of point at I guess the development cycle within games. We're at a really contentious point, I guess, that now gamers are getting very close to the limit of how much they can take before developers can keep releasing this shoddy products. I do think that gamers as a whole are largely to blame for this, epidemic of um, buggy games and stuff. We shouldn't be buying this. We shouldn't be buying these games, and we should seriously be like stepping back, looking at the track record of these companies and going, they're probably going to screw it up because you've got Call of Duty Vanguard, which apparently isn't doing very well. You got 2042 or Battlefield 2042, which is also not doing very well, and the GTA remakes, which apparently, which I'm gonna do a video on because I can't wait to cover some of this stuff, are just like poorly optimized and done, and everything about it is just disgusting. The thing is the reason they do this is because they know there's a large group of people that will buy these games, that will come in. They don't care if it's a piece of crap. They don't care if they spend the entire night, week, month trying to just play a few games because they got the money. They got what they wanted. They could fix it as slow as they want because they've got your money. That's all they care about. Don't give them the money. Wait. Wait for the game to be fixed, or just better yet, wait for them to just release a game that's not broken from the start. We'll get into a quick article by Eurogamer. Battlefield 2042's opening weekend has been a disaster. Hard crashes, server issues, and persistent problems plague the early launch. I really hate how all these ads and videos play automatically. I'm not surprised that this is happening, but here we go. I've highlighted just a few small points just to keep it short and simple. Since Battlefield 2042 went live on Friday, I've endured hard crashes, server problems, and whole nights where the whole thing is simply unplayable. This is another Battlefield that's launching in a sorry state, and it's up there with Battlefield 4's infamously sorry start. At no point in your life, as a developer, do you ever want to be compared to Battlefield 4. That, if you ever get compared to Battlefield 4 as a developer, you need to retire. More than half the matches have ended in server issues that have me rubber banding across the map, removing my avatar's head from its body and rendering the whole thing entirely unplayable. It also says here, right here, that they've removed crossplay. So that's just another little feature they've got. We really do need to stop this behavior of protecting these companies. They're like, I understand if you enjoy a franchise deeply, then I get why you would want to protect it. But these franchises that a lot of people protect nowadays have been on the low end of performance, stability, and just outright quantity of content for years now. And at what point do we get to it and say, it's just too much? It's just too much. It seems the Xbox version is bearing the brunt of the problems. This is what I think is funny, because the Xbox has always been kind of like how Call of Duty is the front runner for PlayStation. Battlefield has been the front runner for Xbox, but there hasn't been a single time since it came out on the newer generation, since the Xbox One, where Battlefield has actually run well, especially on Xbox. Surprisingly, despite the fact that it is the front runner for Xbox, it is the one that usually has the most problems. So, I mean, that's just one article. After scouring the internet, I found many, many more, and I'll quickly bring to your attention one from IGN. Not my favorite place to get any information from, but you know what? I thought this article was actually surprisingly good. Server problems. Battlefield launched last Friday as an EA Play trial, as well as offering the full version to those who paid more for the special editions or the EA Play Pro subscription. Unfortunately, many players found the new game to be unplayable because of an error when loading into servers, with Battlefield support Twitter account acknowledging the issue almost a day later. A day later. The account said the problem had been significantly reduced, but many players reported requesting refunds within that time. And so you should. And so you should. Look, I'm not going to flame you for buying the game in the first place, but everyone should have been requesting a refund if they did buy it. Do not sit on this. If you can get a refund, get the refund. Put it to something else. Buy a different game. Go out to dinner. Get a bottle of fucking alcohol. I don't know. Perhaps the most consistent issue for players right now is the level of gunshot bloom to the game, a term for how shots will deviate from your exact crosshair aim, often used as a way to promote precision bursts of fire rather than consistent trigger holding. While Battlefield games, like many shooters, have used bloom to some extent before, the level which shots deviate in 2042 has caused a huge amount of discussion among players since the full version arrived. Considering it is also 2042, which means, we're a good 21 years effectively into the future. You'd think guns would be just a little bit more developed than they already are, considering our guns right now, in today's era, are quite precise with single tap and small bursts. For many, the amount of bloom now turns landing shots as much as a matter of luck as skill. That sounds terrifying. A point of huge frustration for many players. You can see examples of the effects in the videos below. All right, let's take a look at some of these videos. That is crazy. Let's have a quick look at another one of these, because I'm enjoying this. That's ridiculous. As you can see, the bloom in these like games, specifically this one anyway, is that's just nuts. That's just nuts. The people that are skilled, that are trying to use the, positioning, precision weapons, they're trying to get kills, they're trying to, prone, whatever you can think of. They're trying to do it in a way which effectively makes them more of a better player. And they're getting punished while a guy sitting on the top of a ridge exposing his entire body to a team of 1, 2, and whatever else is around is not dying. So bad players are going to kick freaking ass in this game. Going back to the article, we'll get the big one out of the way first. Hovercrafts can essentially climb buildings and fly and seemingly destroy enough to be able to take down helicopters in a head-on collision. It's a common enough sight that flying hovercraft have begun to become a meme among the community, with some going as far to say that they should be kept as is for comedic value alone. Unfortunately, it's far from the only glitch being reported. One particular serious problem sees players getting downed and becoming unable to be revived. I have actually seen that in a few live streams. But also, unable to die and respawn. The only meaningful way out of the issue is to either fully be killed by an enemy player, which can be difficult in a chaotic 128 player match, or to quit the match entirely. Here we have the hover tanks. I've seen quite a lot of memes about this, and honestly, I am one to advocate for this to remain in the game permanently because of how well it works. Absolutely wonderful. You love to see stuff like that, don't you? You absolutely love to see stuff like that. This is what we live for. We go to work, we work hard, we get that paycheck, and we come home to buy the latest Crapperfield 2040 shit. And yeah, you guys have seen some of it for yourself. Uh, it's a bit disheartening to know that games companies nowadays, they don't really care. They'll finish a product 50%, 60%, they'll ship it out, we'll fix it later mentality because they know they're gonna make the instant cash. Stop giving them the instant cash. Just stop doing it. And I know that's a big ask, because despite the fact that news and information about games is becoming like commonplace, it's expanding every day, and more people are becoming more aware of how companies act. They're starting to watch more stuff, learn more about the actual, like, I guess, gaming genre itself. It's still not enough. There is still a very large portion of people that don't know that much about it, don't look up bugs, don't post their issues, don't do any of this stuff. They just come home, they play the game. If it frustrates them, they get off for the day. And this is where we kind of need the larger community to start coming into the fold, so that it can be made a bit more aware. Well, the companies are already aware about how bad the game is. But say if 10% of their player base openly is vocal about the displeasure of the game, or 50%, you obviously know which one's going to cause a bit more of an uprise. And the thing is it doesn't just mean that the company will take notice and potentially fix things faster or pull their head in. It means that outside information, outside sources, companies, all that stuff, they go, oh crap, we can't pull another Cyberpunk 2077. Well, we can't get caught with our pants down. And then you've got all the games journalists, which sometimes like this can make some funny and interesting articles. That's why we need overall the gaming community to expand its understanding, its knowledge, and come together. But right now, that's Battlefield 2042 in a nutshell. I only showed you a tiny few clips and told you a little bit about it, but that's all you need to know. The servers are horrible. The game's constantly crashing. There's bugs which you just can't dodge. You're just stuck with them. And most of the time, the only way to resolve this is to just not play the game. So, if you've still got it and you're enjoying it, all the power to you. I haven't bought it yet. I do know a few people that have bought it. They've already returned it. I know 5 people that bought it and they've all already returned it. Even if you are enjoying the game, I suggest you do the same, because I feel like soon the game itself is going to be empty or just full of people similar to you who are dedicated to the game. And that's just, it's not evolving. It's not bringing in new people into the franchise. So you're going to just keep doing the same thing every game, keep seeing the same people, keep doing the same thing. We need the franchises to expand. We need to bring people in so that the next time a game comes out, it's bigger. It's exactly like how Halo did it. Halo 1 was big. Halo 2, massive. Halo 3, everywhere. They did it well. And that's what we kind of need, some of that olden days spirit coming into our games. We need to be able to bring people together and have a good time. And most games nowadays are just not doing that. Whether it be the limitations of service themselves, which are always they're always fixable, or the limitations of the engine. I mean, most people by now should know that EA's obsession with the Frostbite engine has caused many a game to go under and to have catastrophic issues, because it's just not designed to do what it needs to do in a lot of situations. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that usual YouTube jargon. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.